Good evening, Yellow Jacket Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Catch a Buzz. My name's Ryan King, here with my brother and co-host Sean King. Got a good show for y'all tonight. We're going to be start out just diving into these new playoff rankings. I think that's kind of an obligation now that they're coming out. We're kind of getting to see the committee's mindset and where they're viewing teams at this point in the season. Spoiler alert, they hate the ACC, so we'll get into that. We'll also go ahead and just touch on Tech's game this upcoming week at BC, coming off a bye, obviously coming off a tough loss to NC State. So we'll see how the Jackets respond. We'll dive into that afterwards. But first, wanted to go ahead and just kind of get your thoughts, Sean, on the playoff rankings. It's another week. We got to see what they did with the Jackets not playing and the two teams ahead of them in the ACC losing.
Well, first off with the ACC, I mean, yeah, you want to say they hate us. I mean, but especially after last week when they had all of us low, it didn't help after Louisville and Virginia taking L, and it just looks like everyone's killing each other in the ACC, and anyone can beat anybody. But I just want to start off by saying Miami in front of Tech is hilarious. Notre Dame at 9 is hilarious. And them having Miami, the 11th team, in their little diagram, because they're ranked higher than us when they have almost a 0% chance of getting into the ACC championship. They've got to win out. They've got to have some teams lose, and it's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Them thinking that we get dominated by NC State when Haynes King has 500 yards of offense, and it was really just the first horrific game from the defense. The defense, by all means, hasn't been great, but one game, and you obviously know no one watched it. They just saw the final score. They saw we got let up 48 points. Still don't know how you can think that we got dominated when you put up 36 points. And they're just not even looking at the box score. But again, they're just biased to the SEC. It's comical. Is absolutely comical. And they obviously think it means 10 times more to lose a game in the SEC to win a game in the ACC. And I think you know a little more about what's been going on behind the scenes as far as committee members and whatnot. But if you're Georgia Tech, you can't even fucking worry about it. You got to just win out, beat BC, and beat Pitt, and you're in the ACC championship. I mean, no matter win or loss to Georgia, I don't think we're going to move up or down that much and then win the ACC championship game. So you can't really yeah, we'd like to see us higher, but I mean, you take it out to NC State the week before the committee comes out with their rankings, and it's just a given they're gonna think of the ACC less than every other conference, just based on everyone beating each other this year in the ACC, and it's comical. It really is. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is. I think. So Sean alluded to it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen that Mac Rhodes, the genius head of the playoff committee that was out here telling everybody that the reason Tech was ranked so low is because they got dominated on both sides of the ball. I mean, every Tech fan knows about that at this point. But he doubled down on it in the committee rankings this past week, which was just mind-boggling to see. I mean, he got asked about it again, and he doubled down, and so they got dominated on both sides of the ball, and it's like, dude, what are we talking about? But so he just stepped down from not only being the head, but also being on the playoff committee. Guess it has something to do with it was for personal reasons, but supposedly he's being investigated by Baylor for something.
So he was the head?
Yeah, he was the head. He was the head of the committee, which just makes it so ridiculous that he was saying the things he was about Tech. But anyway, so there was like a brief couple-hour period today where everyone was like, "Oh, awesome! This guy's stepping down. It can't get much worse." And then they announced that it's going to be Arkansas's AD who is taking over as the head of the committee. So, as if the SEC wasn't getting favorable enough treatment, now they have one of their own ADs as the head of the playoff committee. So, you can go ahead and book it that Texas will be in the playoff with 3 losses this year, including one to Florida. You might as well go ahead and pencil them in there. Doesn't matter what they do against A&M. It's unbelievable. And as Sean said, having Miami ahead of Tech, that's one thing, I guess, if you want to put them a spot ahead of Tech. But the fact that you are showing them in your playoff bracket projection is just batshit insane. I mean,
It's comically
like Sean
flawed.
said, they literally have a 6% chance as of today to make the ACC championship, to even make the game. So I don't understand how, if you're only putting one ACC team in there, it's not like they were putting Miami at 8 and Tech at 11. They had one ACC team, which means that they must be the conference champion. That the logic is completely flawed. It makes no sense whatsoever. And I think that anyone that is, keeping tabs on Georgia Tech is well aware of all of this. We're not necessarily saying anything new, but I mean, it's crazy. And the fact that the thing that drives me the most crazy is that their reasoning is just completely wrong. That they're the only reason that they have given us for why Tech is where they're ranked, other than being Georgia Tech, is that they got dominated by NC State. And it's like that. What game did you watch? Oh, we know you didn't watch the game. I guess you didn't even look at the box score. So that's very frustrating as Tech fans, because we're basically at a point now where we realize, okay, well, we legitimately have no margin for error. I mean, if you go out and you lose to Pitt, I'm not even going to say BC. If you go out and lose to Pitt, your season's basically over, because I feel like at that point, even if they beat Georgia, they wouldn't put Tech in as an at-large. They would find a way to diminish Pitt, because say Pitt loses to Notre Dame this week. Okay, well, they're not going to be ranked anymore. They're not going to be ranked when we play them. So it'll be an
We need Pitt to win.
loss.
We need Pitt
to
to win.
win bad against Notre Dame. We need Pitt to win bad against Notre Dame. I don't know if that would bode well for us if they actually go and beat Notre Dame.
No,
but we need it. And maybe
I mean, I don't really care
us.
if they do. I'm not going to say we need it, because I'm confident enough in our team to go beat Pitt, and it won't matter, what they're ranked. We'll make it to Charlotte, but yeah, it's just these past 2 years, it's just like this. These people on the committee just don't watch games. I don't know really how else you clean it up, though. I mean,
at this point, I mean, I'm basically. It's hard because you have to have a human component to it, because if you're just going off, computer models and power rankings and whatnot, you would have Florida State or something in the top 12 right now. So I mean, those are completely flawed too, obviously. But I don't really know what the happy medium is, because to me, based off of what I've seen so many people come out and say, just looking at the rankings, I think the committee's done a pretty good job. And maybe they have, outside of Tech, and Tech's placement and their reasoning for their placement has just really skewed my judgment. But to be fair, I'm really only paying attention to where Tech is ranked, and then any teams above Tech that shouldn't be above them, in my opinion, or teams that we're playing. I'm not really paying attention to the rest of it, I guess.
yeah, but who has Notre Dame played and beat? That's been a good team. They
lost their only 2 big games.
They had 2 good losses, but they haven't played anybody other than who's their best win. I mean, I've zero clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then you got Utah at 13. I mean, what is that? I think they have 2 losses too in the Big 10 or Big 12, whatever they're in.
Yeah.
And then you got Texas, Oklahoma, and Vandy all sitting there with 2 losses.
Yeah,
it's like
all of these 2-loss SEC teams just way ahead of you. I mean, way ahead of you. Texas lost to Florida. They lost to Florida. 3-6 Florida. How are they the number 10 team in the country? It wasn't their only loss. They have looked horrible this year. And then another thing, touching on Miami, I'm almost positive that one of his reasonings for Miami being ahead of Georgia Tech is he was talking about consistency and all of this shit. It's like, they just lost 2 out of 3. What are you talking about? Just say that they're a bigger brand. All we care about is money, because this is through ESPN. So we're trying to get the biggest brand name teams that we can get in there.
They lost to an
It's either
unranked
Big
Louisville.
Brand, SEC, or well, Vanderbilt's SEC, but you have some cocky idiot like Pavia out here that's just drawing attention, even though he's ass, and he's somehow managed to like create some persona that has him in the Heisman conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I like if Haynes King was doing that, would we be the number 17 in the country right now? Like, I don't understand that. Nothing about their rankings makes any sense whatsoever. I mean,
Miami loses to a unranked Louisville at the time. They're ranked now, but after they beat Miami, they jumped up in the rankings. And an unranked SMU. Two unranked teams.
Who lost to Wake Forest.
It's hilarious how just because they beat Notre Dame, who they have up 9. I mean, if you're going to do that logic, then Miami needs to be ahead of Notre Dame.
Exactly. I mean, they have 2 losses and they beat Notre Dame, so I don't understand how. I don't understand how they're 6 spots behind them.
Miami's 18. They beat Syracuse and jump us and jump 3 spots.
Yeah, they beat arguably the worst team in the ACC since Angeli went down. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling. And then he even says something about how it's like, oh, it's a bit of a course correction. You know, Miami is the best team in the ACC, so we had to bump them up ahead of Georgia Tech. It's like, what are you talking about?
They're 7th. They're 7th in the ACC.
Yeah, 7th in the ACC. And to be fair, I mean, you got teams like Duke ahead of them who just lost to UConn. But still, they have 2 losses. They're both to ACC teams. They didn't lose to Notre Dame. They didn't lose to Texas A&M or Ohio State. They lost to ACC teams. So how are you going to sit here and tell me they're the best ACC team?
When you already view the ACC like shit.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why the only explanation is that it's all brand names. That's all they care about in this is getting viewers, even though people watch Tech games. That's the thing that drives me insane. It's like, go look at last year and this year. Tech is in like 5 of the top 10 most watched ACC games. Like, so to me that's complete BS, and it's just like it's national media refusing to give any sort of props to Tech at all. I mean, at all. I mean, you do have guys coming on and saying, what is going on with Georgia Tech? Why are they ranked so low? So I do appreciate those people that are coming out and saying that, but that doesn't change anything. I mean, that's not changing the committee's minds. So, unfortunately, you've been put in a spot where you have to win out, at least your ACC games, because I think that they would 100% find a way to leave Tech out if they lose to Pitt and beat Georgia. They wouldn't care. That loss to Pitt would be more than enough for them to keep Tech out of the playoff as an at-large. Because they've made it abundantly clear they're only putting one ACC team in the playoff.
Yep. Now, I think Notre Dame plays Pitt. Did I see that right at 9:30 in the morning?
What?
I swear to God, I saw 9:30 a.m.
I don't think that's the case.
Let me double check, because I was baffled when I saw it as well.
You got your phone in the right time zone?
I think I do. Oh no, it's 12 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Swear to God, it said 9:30 when I looked last week or something. But what Tech needs to do is worry about this week.
Yeah.
Go and win by 50, please. Please. Just go and dominate Boston College, the worst team in the ACC, just visually and record-wise. So I know it's close to home for Brent Key and Bill O'Brien, who used to be at least a fellow Jacket coaching-wise, and who I don't think is a terrible coach, or at least I thought that going into this year, but maybe Castanelos leaving was really, that big of a detriment to them. But
I think that hurts programs like that a lot.
Yeah, especially Boston College. But yeah, no, this week is all about looking pretty. I mean, really, go handle your business. I'm not worried about it. I said I wasn't worried about NC State, and we gave up 48, but I also think they have a lot better talent than Boston College. But again, who knows? Who knows with what we've seen the past couple weeks go on in the ACC, anything can happen. But It ain't happening to the Jackets, that's for sure.
I agree. I mean, you're always going to get every team's best shot, but I don't think Boston College's best shot is enough to keep them within 3 scores. So, yeah, at the end of the day, that really is what it's about. I mean, I think that one of Tech's biggest problems is that we haven't come out here and won by 40 multiple times. I mean, you should have beat Virginia Tech by 40. Who else? I mean, Duke. I mean, in theory, you should have
It
won
would have
Duke
looked
out.
better. It would have
theory,
looked
you
better
should have won Duke out.
27-10, but we gave up that last second touchdown and 2-point
Right,
conversion.
and even same with Syracuse, giving up the BS touchdown at the end. It's little things like that clearly are making all of the difference in the committee's mind, because they're obviously not watching. I don't think they've watched Tech play a single game this year. I don't think they've watched a single Tech game. Maybe they watched Clemson, and Tech won that game on a fire drill field goal by 3 points in Clemson's ass. So they're probably watching that. They probably found a way to watch the Wake Forest game for no reason. So I don't know what is coloring their vision or what they're seeing out of Tech, but it's clearly not good. And they've been waiting. That they're probably so happy that they didn't have to rank Tech in their initial rankings in the top 12, because it made it even easier for them to just bury us down there in the bottom of the rankings and just say that we're ass. I mean, that's basically what they've been saying. So, yeah, I mean, really your path, if you're Tech, is you legitimately need to win by 50 this week. I mean, you need to not let off the brakes because you're winning. You just need to score touchdown after touchdown after touchdown after touchdown and just run the score up on them. He can say sorry at the end of the game, but I don't see any other way that you're going to make any sort of statement without blowing out your only easy game remaining. You're going to have to do that to try to move up 1 or 2 more spots going into Pitt. And then Pitt's going to be a dogfight. I mean, I'm very interested to see how they play Notre Dame. But ever since they have changed quarterbacks, they might have been the best team in the ACC, best offense. I mean, they're playing out of their minds.
No, they've been putting up a lot of points. I don't know a ton about the defense, but it's not Holstein. What's his name?
I can't remember.
I know Eli was their previous quarterback. It starts with an H. Heitzel or something.
Yeah.
But Texas and Oklahoma will probably take Ellis this weekend playing Bama and Georgia. So you got to expect them to drop and Tech move above them. If
they
happens.
might move up. They might move up. Those are 2 real quality losses.
9-1 looks a lot prettier than 8-1. So maybe if we win pretty, they bump us up. Even if what we don't need is Texas and Oklahoma to go win. That would be catastrophic because they're not letting Bama and Georgia slip out of the top 12, especially against a 10 and 11 ranked team.
That's the exact reason that they're ranked where they're at.
Yep.
So that they can say they lost to the number 10 and 11 teams if they lose, so that they only have to drop them like 2 or 3 spots. That's 100% why they're ranked where they are. That they can have those ranked. And it works the other way, where they have a very high-ranked win added to their resume.
Yep. And I'm not sure Vandy plays anyone until Tennessee at the end of the year. So they're basically in until we see what happens with that last game of the season. Utah is going to be gone. Still have no idea why they're there. We'll see what BYU does down the stretch. I think they play Cincinnati. But again, BYU's a 8-1 team, 9-1 team, and they've got them ranked 12th. So I don't know. It's complete chaos, but it all goes back to just go do your damn business. You know?
At the end of the day, thanks to Virginia and Louisville sucking dick last weekend. God,
that was so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, we never got to talk about it. I was on the stream with Rec and Sea Dog Sunday night, like we always do. So if y'all don't follow them, go give them go subscribe to them. But we usually go on every Sunday night if Ryan will ever join.
Well, I'll be on.
There too.
Not to pull the sympathy card, but we had to put our dog down this week.
Yeah.
So we had an emergency come up on Saturday. So unfortunately, I was not able to get on the live stream, even though I'm the one that even brought it up. But I was very quickly having to back out of that. But yeah, like Sean said, going forward, we're definitely planning on doing live shows with Rec Talk and Sea Dog. So.
And maybe even Big Benny. Maybe even Big Benny if y'all have been watching him. So
I'm sure you guys have been watching Big Benny football. I went to college with him, good friends with him, so we're trying to get him on the live shows as well going forward. So hopefully, towards the end of the season here, we'll have some big group shows going and shoot the shit together. But yeah, man, let's go ahead quickly. I don't think we need to spend too much time on Boston College because if I'm being completely honest, I don't know shit about them. All I know,
not watch a single game. Don't know their quarterback.
No, don't know a single guy on the team. I know that they are ass. They are the worst team in the ACC. They have one win. I don't even know who it's against. It's probably an FCS team.
Has to be an FCS team.
And that is the reason that we're sitting here saying you better go win by 50 fucking points. Because if you don't, you could literally, if you beat Boston College by like 7 points or 10 points, they will drop you in the rankings.
100%.
They literally will drop you in the rankings, I think, for a win. I think that's where we're at this point. I think that's what's kind of been demonstrated by the committee's rankings through the first 2 weeks is that they have no respect for Tech. I mean, unless you go and beat Pitt by 2-3 scores, they're going to think you're frauds. So, but as I was alluding to, thanks to Louisville and Virginia shit in the bed, your destiny's back in your hands now. You control your own destiny. The path to Charlotte's there. You win 2 games. You're playing for the ACC. I think it also frees you up a lot going into the Georgia game, knowing that if you've secured a spot in the ACC championship, you know that your season isn't riding on the Georgia game. Which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's a bad thing going into Georgia. But maybe you're looking ahead to the ACC championship. But I'm not worried about that at all. I think we all know how Brent Key feels about Georgia, and he's made it abundantly clear over the years that it's the game circled on the schedule. So
again, Georgia has an FCS opponent the week before they face us, and we play Pitt.
Yeah,
so we'll see how we play. It's going to be Haynes King's last shot. A lot of 27 guys' last shot to go and beat the team they hate the most. So we'll see. But Boston College has been weird, man. I mean, their only win was the first game of the season against Fordham.
Okay. Fordham.
66-10, and then they lose to Michigan State by 2, Stanford by 10, Cal by 4, blown out by Pitt 48-7, blown out by Clemson 41-10, lost to UConn 38-23, only lost to Louisville by 14. Only lost to Notre Dame by 15, which is I think is the kind of shocker.
Week, I think. 2 weeks ago.
No, 2 weeks ago, which also shows Notre Dame's a really great team.
Right.
And get blown out by SMU last week, 45-13. So I guess they've shown they can play you kind of close and put up 20-something points. And with this defense, I mean, it just. Again, all year I've said it before. I mean, I really hadn't had a problem with this defense all year because our offense has been pretty damn good. But when our offense has been slacking, defense has really stepped up in some big spots. The Duke game, the Wake game, or no, I'm not even going to say the Wake game. The Wake game in the second half, Virginia Tech. I mean, we hadn't given up more than 24 points all year, and that was to Temple. I believe that's correct. And then when you go and give up, and then you go and give up 48 to NC State. So, again, though, I'm not fucking worried, man. It's Buster's been calling his ass off. Really, the only flaw in the NC State game was just not being able to get in the end zone, which really hurt us. And you still can't even blame it on the offense. I mean, your defense gave up 48 points. 48 points to a limping C.J. Bailey and their tight end out, and they're the best running back in the league in Hollywood Smothers. So we're not going to rehash that shit. Tough loss. But the next week, even on your bye week, you somehow win. And now you're right back in first place in the ACC. So you have to wash that, and you have to come out and dominate.
Yeah, I agree. It was obviously a pretty brutal loss to NC State. I mean, it brought up a lot of concerns that, like Sean said, we hadn't really discussed just because the defense had found a way in all of our other games. So we were more so concerned with some of the woes that we were having offensively. But clearly, I'm hoping at least that NC State was just one of those games where just everything that could go wrong went wrong for the defense. And it was a big eye-opener for both, not only the players, but for Gideon as well. They have plenty of film to diagnose, figure out what their issues were, try to address them. And they've had 2 weeks to do it. And I think that one of the biggest parts to this that Sean and I talked about in our instant reaction, and even talked about going into the NC State game, it was because going into the game we weren't that concerned. I mean, we were predicting Tech to win pretty easily, but we did mention that you were missing Amari Harvey, you were missing Jai Gilmore, and those could be big issues. And clearly they were way bigger issues than we anticipated them to be. But they are both now back healthy. Tech is actually fully healthy, with the exception of our long snapper, Will Benton, I believe. He is the
Are we
only
actually?
one.
I didn't watch Key's presser today.
Yeah. And not even, there's no one on the probable list. Everyone that was hurt last week, with the exception of this Will Benton, our long snapper, everyone is available.
Really?
So
wow.
We are literally fully healthy. Week 11 or 12, whatever week it is. So that's insane, and it's very good news for Tech. I mean, clearly our defense is not good enough to be missing two of our best players. So having Harvey back, having Jai back,
especially in the secondary,
especially if they're 100, especially if they're 100%. That's the big thing. I'd almost prefer them to not play this week, and just be fully healthy going into Pitt. But you also want to get them game reps. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But everyone's healthy, which is massive. I think that I don't know. I mean, I still feel very positive. I know that we come on here and, a lot of people consider us to be pretty negative fans, I guess. But as I'll reiterate over and over again, I don't really think that we're negative. I think that we're just realists. We like to point out the things that we see as issues. And if we're wrong about it, we will eat crow. But, I mean, if we're right about it, we're going to be like, this is what we were saying. Why didn't you address this sooner? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, as Sean and I have said before, we grew up Atlanta sports fans. It's
in our blood. It's in our blood to stress every week.
We've seen a lot of heartbreak. So, maybe that's us just trying to protect against it and not just wanting to go balls to the wall all in because we're 8-1 like some Alabama Gump was in the comment section on our last video. But
even last week, when we were talking about the pregame, or 2 weeks ago before NC State, I brought up our struggle with, or what I usually think is our struggle, which is running quarterbacks. And I saw C.J. Bailey's stats on the year, and I was like, oh, he's only ran for like 100 yards all year. And then we go and give up how many ever rushing yards to him?
Plus or something.
Yeah, while he's limping. Just wasn't a good look, but I also stand corrected. It was Wake Forest 29 points was the most we had given up. The game we should have lost.
Yeah.
A
game no
I still
one
love hearing that. I still love hearing that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I'm much more for Boston College unless we want to give a score prediction.
Yeah, let's give a quick score prediction. I'll go ahead and go first. I think that Tech, I would honestly be slightly more concerned about the game if we had beat NC State. I think you just lost to NC State. You just had a bye week. You probably just went through absolute hell at practice for 2 weeks straight. And honestly, practice is irrelevant. I mean, you want to go out there with where you're at in your season right now and prove to everybody, hey, that was a fluke. We're real. We're contenders. And this is your chance to make a statement. As we've said multiple times, it's the worst team in the ACC. I think that Tech is I think that this might be Tech's first four-quarter game of the entire season. I think that we might just come out, be up 14, 17, 21 to nothing at the end of the first quarter. And I think that Tech's just going to run away with it. Maybe you let your foot off the gas in the second half. I'll say Tech wins. I really want to score 50 points. 52 to 10.
You are. It is exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say 52-10. Well, fuck. Now I got to change it. Literally before we even started talking about score predictions, I was like 49 and then a field goal, 52, and then 10 probably. Yeah, like you said, I mean, I think the closest game we had was Syracuse. But even then we started slow with the fumble, and it's kind of like a 10-3 game there for a little bit. It was only 20-something, 21-3 at half, 23 at half. Then we blew it open the second. Yeah, I think Tech's hungry, man. I think they're hungry, and I think the committee, putting us where we are helps for sure, if there is any doubt. But obviously, I like our chances in this game. I think, look, Haynes King's tenure is coming to an end, man. It's sad. I think we picked a very good game to go to with a lot riding on the line next week at Pitt. So we'll be up there. But, yeah, I guess I'll go lower. I mean, give me Tech 45-14 in a win over BC. So I'm looking forward to it. Was it a 3:30 game?
I think so. I'd have to look. I haven't looked all week, to be honest. And then they're not announcing the time of the Pitt game until after the games on Saturday. So
go vote Haynes King for Heisman. This
yes.
could be another game that dramatically boosts his status, even with one less game played than everybody else, which I still don't think anyone's looking at.
Nope.
He has the most yards, I think, out of anybody, like rushing and passing, or at least most rushing and passing per game.
Yeah.
He's blowing the field out by a mile, and still is getting underrated. So this is a game Haynes King, I think, is going to absolutely ball out again. So
yeah, Haynes might not throw an incompletion in this game, and we're sitting here saying this, and this will be the game he randomly throws like 3 interceptions. Yeah. But no, I mean, Haynes, I'm glad that you brought that up. I wanted to touch on it before we ended. I mean, this guy is having an incredible season. As Sean said, he didn't play against our FCS team, where our backup quarterback threw for 370 yards and 4 touchdowns. So go ahead and just add those numbers to his overall numbers and then see how he stacks up to everybody else. But he's having an incredible year. Easily the greatest transfer to ever come to Tech. He's going to go down as an absolute legend at Tech, depending on how the rest of the season plays out. And yeah, I'm just super pumped that Sean and I are going to be there for his last game at Bobby Dodd, unless there's a home playoff game somehow. But not getting ahead of his last regular season game at Bobby Dodd. I'm expecting it to be packed house. If they're waiting to announce a time, it might be a night game, which would be super cool. And yeah, it's going to be a fun couple weeks for Tech, and really the season comes down to the next 2 weeks. So let's hope that the Jackets can come out with their hair on fire after getting their ass handed to them by NC State. Hopefully it's the wake-up call that Tech needed. I think it's going to be. And I feel very good going into Boston College, and I still feel good about the rest of the season.
Look, this is better than I think a lot of people had us. I knew we all knew it was a gettable schedule. We obviously marked Clemson and Georgia down as an L, and Clemson turned out what they turned out to be, and now you're sitting at 8-1, hopefully going to 9-1 in your last 2 games of the season. So it's a very exciting time to be a Jacket, and I'm glad I've stuck around for all these years. It's finally coming to fruition. I actually saw something from Key, a video, I guess, for when he first got hired under Collins. And dude was just ecstatic to be at Georgia Tech. He lives Georgia Tech, breathes it. Hopefully he's going to die it. And can't be more happy for him, for this team, and just how just incredible of a job he's done to really, turn us back around from absolute hell. And it's a good time to be a Jacket.
Couldn't have said it any better. It is a great time to be a Jacket. Hopefully they work out that key extension soon if they haven't already, and they're just waiting to announce it. But I have no doubt that that's coming. Him and Haynes King have completely saved Georgia Tech football, almost single-handedly, I'd say. And Buster Faulkner, you could throw in there too. I don't know where Tech would be without them. We might be watching a program die like Washington State or something like that. Instead, we're sitting here in November, 8-1, in contention for the ACC and college football playoff. So, I mean, that's in less than 3 years. I don't know how you could possibly do a better job unless your name is Kurt Cignetti up in Indiana. He's about the only one that can take the cake over Key. So, like you said, it's a great time to be a Jackets fan. Let's go kick some ass on Saturday. Go Jackets.
Come on, baby. Go motherfucking Jackets.